The Washtenaw County Probate Court. Let's explore the ins and outs of the court and give you some practical information if you're dealing with the court. The Washtenaw County Probate Court is located at 101 East Huron Street, really easy to find, at the intersection of Main Street and East Huron. The courthouse houses the circuit court and other court and municipal related activities. It's right off of busy Main Street. So if you're familiar with Ann Arbor, you'll be familiar with where the courthouse is. And it's right down the street from the great Zingerman's Deli. So go enjoy a nice sandwich before you head over to the court. Parking is accessible both on the street, although there are some limited metered parkings, but there are some very large structures that are nearby to provide long-term parking. We always encourage people to arrive at the court with lots of time to spare. So leave your house early, get there early. It allows you to become familiar with the court itself, where to go, which courtroom to attend, how to check in, to meet and maybe have some discussions before the court hearing. But most importantly, to just breathe before your court hearing begins. The court is a secured building, which means that as you would if you were entering an airport, you can't bring anything into the building that would be prohibited or deemed to be a weapon or a sharp object. It's quite frustrating for people who park, get out of their car, get to the court, only to be turned back to their car to return something that they didn't realize was in their pocket or in their purse. You may be wondering what brought you to the Washtenaw County Probate Court, why your matter is there. To best answer that question is to understand the difference between venue and jurisdiction. Jurisdiction typically is relating to the subject matter of the matter upon which is in front of the court. So for example, a bankruptcy matter would be involved with the bankruptcy court, and a divorce matter would be involved with the circuit court. And so too is a probate matter within the probate court. Venue relates to the court within the larger system. So for example, which county would the matter be involved? So for example, with the deceased probate estate, if the individual who died was domiciled in Washtenaw County, then Washtenaw County would be the appropriate venue for that probate matter. Now, a deceased probate estate involves the orderly process of taking somebody who died and taking their assets and liabilities through this process before it's distributed. That's what we call a deceased probate estate. The probate court also has venue and jurisdiction over trust matters. Now, some trusts are handled outside of the probate court, and some trusts that specifically require probate court supervision are under the jurisdiction, when there's a dispute, of the probate court. In addition, there could be matters in which the trust needs to be interpreted, or a dispute about the trust beneficiaries or how the trust beneficiaries are acting, or maybe the trustee is acting inappropriately. The probate court would have jurisdiction. Also, the probate court has jurisdiction over guardianship matters. Now, the venue is determined upon where that individual resides. So the person that is in need of court protection for their care and well-being under guardianship would occur within the probate court. And the court maintains jurisdiction over that guardianship during the time upon which the guardianship exists or up until the person dies. In addition, the probate court has jurisdiction over conservatorships. Now, if guardianship is for care and well-being of the individual, a conservatorship relates to the financial piece, the money. So, again, like a guardianship, it's based on the residency of that individual. So if somebody is in need of a conservator, you'd look at the residency. That would dictate which county to file the conservatorship. The Washtenaw County Probate Court is really fortunate to have experienced probate judges serving on behalf of the community. Judge Darlene A. O'Brien has been on the bench since 2006, a graduate of Notre Dame Law School and the University of Toledo, graduating with honors. She serves on behalf of the family division of the court. Judge Julia B. Odzai has been on the bench since June of 2014. She was first appointed and then won election on behalf of the Washtenaw County voters. She is a graduate of Michigan State University and DCL, Detroit College of Law. Before becoming a judge, Judge Odzai was an assistant Michigan Attorney General as well as an assistant prosecuting attorney. With probate matters, often you want to gain information, whether it's forms or information about process or the file itself. And most of the time people get up and they go into the building to go get that information, the forms, learn about the filing fees, learn about how to file things. But much of that information can be gained by just simply going to the website, which is washtenaw.org, O-R-G. That website has some of the basic information that can assist you rather than making the trip down to the courthouse. So for example, you'll see from this slide, the probate court gives general information about guardianships, conservatorships, deceased estates, and the general information about how to file certain things. On the far left, you'll even see that in a deceased probate estate, when you're trying to calculate the inventory fee, it has a calculator. So it gives you basic information. It gives you a map to the courthouse, information about the general process, but it doesn't give a lot. And in fact, many of the other counties within Michigan have a much more robust website that allows you to gain docket information, real detailed information about what's going on in the file. So again, there is some helpful information here, but not nearly as robust as other counties that really allow you to gain a lot of the information from the comfort of your home. One very nice thing is to be able to access probate court forms. So rather than going to the court and sitting there for a long period of time trying to figure out what to put in each particular field within a form, you can gain those forms online, fill them out at home, get fairly comfortable with the information you may need and how to fill out those forms before filing with the probate court. The Washtenaw County Probate Court filing fees relating to the most common things that are filed at the court are listed here. Now, the most common questions relating to filing fees relate to the opening up of various estates, whether it be a guardianship, conservatorship, a deceased estate, or a guardianship for an individual with a developmental disability. Now, most of the filing fees are $175 for the commencement of these estates, but as you can see, there is no fee for the guardianship of a DD or developmental disabled person. In addition, you should understand that that may not be the total filing fee. For example, if you're filing to open up a new estate, you have to contemplate the publication in the legal news, the letter of authority, the inventory fee, and other miscellaneous fees that may exist. So to really understand the filing fees and the costs, you should both study this as well as consult with a lawyer. In addition, each year there are certain filing fees on conservatorships, including the annual account. So to get a better understanding of these filing fees, here is some basic information, but again, consult with a lawyer to be able to guide you through this process. The Washtenaw County Probate Court is a really busy court. Now, most probate courts are simply a reflection of the population that exists within that county. And because Ann Arbor is within Washtenaw County, as well as some other fairly large cities, the population is large and therefore the filings are quite large. The state of Michigan does a summary each year that reflects the filings that have occurred within the year based on each file type. This particular presentation shows that in 2019 there were 608 deceased estates that went through the court system. And as you can see, the bulk of matters at the probate court relate to guardianship, both adult and minor guardianships. There were 360 adult guardianships and 189 minor guardianships. But again, 2,159 as a total caseload is quite large. On the lower section of this summary, you'll see that there are files that go on year to year. So, for example, even though you're commencing an estate, some of these guardianships go on for many years, and some of the deceased estates go on for a long period of time. So the total active estate and trust cases at December 31st represented 1,053. And you can see there's quite a few guardianship files that just go on year to year. Now, why is this important? It's important to understand that if you go down to the Washtenaw County Probate Court, your matter is not the only matter. The judge is going to be presiding over many, many matters, which really requires you to educate and inform the court about your particular set of circumstances. You can't just assume that because you were in front of the court a year ago that the court is going to have a really clear memory of your particular set of circumstances. I hope that this has been a helpful overview of the Washtenaw County Probate Court. What we do know about probate court is it's a confusing area. It's often filled with a lot of emotion and people really not sure how to navigate through it. So we strongly urge and recommend that if you are involved with the probate court, that you hire a skilled, competent lawyer. A lawyer that you can relate to, that can speak your language and guide you through the process. If you've got questions relating to a probate matter, you're welcome to give us a call at the Probate Pro, 833-PROBATE, or visit us at theprobatepro.com.